Hey, so a bit of a controversial one about tarot cards. You may have seen these tarot readings, pick a card, pick a tarot card pile, or what there will be is like a YouTuber where they'll say March tarot reading or whatever. Or they'll do it by star sign. So they'll do like Pisces tarot reading, Capricorn, Sagittarius, whatever it is. I don't think these are good things to be doing, and I can explain why. So I've made another video talking about channeling and how you don't really know which entities you're calling in and communicating with, and that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is the channeler themselves is not actually channeling. So then you'll get a combination of their programming and expectations, your programming, and just plain random messages. That's the worst case scenario. And then the best case scenario is they do channel, but the beings they're channeling are not actually good beings, because in the fourth dimension, most of them are not good beings. They're negative entities designed to keep you down in the 3D realm. They don't want you going higher. They certainly don't want you going inwards and realizing that you have the power to transcend all of this. And so tarot readings or tarot cards, in my opinion, are more of the same. It's getting in touch with energies on the fourth density, the fourth dimension, the astral realm, where most of them don't have your best interests at heart. They want you to be confused, and they want you to keep being stuck in this realm. And I know there's a lot of tarot YouTubers out there. There's a lot of tarot Instagrammers and TikTokers and all this stuff. And I don't think they're doing anything wrong as such. Most of them are not aware of what they're doing and how it can be misleading to people. But if you're new to spirituality, it's very easy to get sucked into it. A lot of people get sucked into it. They want to know what's going on, where their life's going, or what's going to happen next. So they type into YouTube what's going on next, or spiritual predictions. And of course, the tarot readings come up, the pick a card or pick a pile. And while there's not anything inherently wrong with just listening or just, hearing what they have to say, I think it can be dangerous when you become reliant on that, when you assume that's the 100% truth of what's going to happen, when in most cases it's just not. It's one perspective, one possibility. And like I said, it could be random. So the person doing it could not be channeling or connected to anything, and they could just be pulling random cards out of a deck that they bought in a bookstore. Or it could be more than random, and actually it could be negative in terms of negative entities hijacking that message to confuse and lead people astray. Or it could be good, and that's possible as well. It could be a positive entity trying to give you a message, and that's also a possibility. But it's very unlikely. If you think of how many people are out there making YouTube videos about tarot cards, and how many companies have made tarot cards decks to sell, and how many entities are in the fourth dimension, it's just incredibly unlikely that you would find a positive message when the negative messages are trying so hard to hijack those. And it's also not even needed, in my opinion. You don't need external validation for an internal experience. Like for example, let's say if you're going through something tough or something good, you don't need a deck of tarot cards to tell you that. And if something was going to happen to you in the future, you don't need a tarot reading to tell you that, because it would happen anyway. And then you'll be able to deal with it and get the life experiences, lessons or whatever from that. And you would have the learning experience yourself. You don't need a tarot card reading to tell you that. Anyway, I know this is controversial. Let me know what you think. And if you love tarot card readings, if you really like them, and I know there's going to be people who say, well, they're super accurate, they work, and what I had read in the tarot card reading actually happened. I'm not saying they don't work. It's more that there's a few things at play here. So firstly, you have self-fulfilling prophecy and us co-creating the hologram. If you think something's going to happen and you truly believe it, you influence that more than you think, especially if you truly believe something will happen. You almost make it happen to some degree, like you at least have a lot of influence over that. So that's one aspect. Second aspect is that the message could be telling you something's going to happen, which was going to happen anyway, but putting a slightly negative spin on it. So telling you how to react to it, or telling you what to do with that. So yeah, it's a confusing one, but that's just my opinion. I want to try and be real with you. I don't want to hype it up or make stuff just to get views. I want to tell you my experiences and summarize my research and just put it out there. I just want to add something onto the tarot card video. If you do want or have to do that, tarot card readings, I have some advice which I think I've not heard anybody talk about, especially any tarot card readers. It's not in the descriptions, it's not mentioned anywhere. And that is, you've got to remember that when you're drawing a card, in theory, the concept is you're connecting to the most likely possibility for your timeline, like what you're most likely to experience in the future. So you've got to remember, most people, when they draw a tarot card, they're in a negative space. They're stressed, confused, they need answers, or they're angry, sad, upset, and they want to know, why am I going through this and what's next? If you approach it from that negative mindset, then you're going to influence the cards you draw and therefore the future you create. And a lot of people don't understand this. The best time to do a tarot card reading is when you are completely relaxed and neutral. You don't want to be feeling or thinking one way or the other. You want to just be kind of neutral, because otherwise you influence the possibility of what will happen next. And I haven't heard anyone talk about that. But yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to add. Just see what you think.